Whoops, oops. All right, and we're live. This time for real, I hope. Sorry, folks, I'm still not getting used to the streaming stuff. Welcome back, and this time we're going to talk about a lot of Sonic Colors, which we already promised to do last time, but we didn't. So we have an extra time preparing now. The captain has done a wonderful little review for us, and I made another new video complaining about colors because I was playing it again and immediately inspired some new thoughts. I hope I'm not repeating myself too much because I haven't memorized all my previous dissecteds, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Echo. There's an echo.
Apparently, there's an echo I hear.
Echo.
That's weird. I'm wearing headphones, so it shouldn't come from my end. What's going on? You guys haven't talked yet?
Just waiting on you to do the intro. I was about to tell you that there definitely was an echo, though.
There is an echo. Oh boy. Is it just with me? Do you guys talk for a bit?
Okay. So yeah, we were going to do this Sonic Colors talk last time, but I was not really ready yet. I was still gathering my thoughts to make this review that will be debuting soon. And yeah, so I hope it was worth the wait if anyone was waiting for it.
All right. Apparently, I'm the only one who echoed. That is always something wrong, isn't there?
Well, first Luke was turning into a zombot, and now it's your turn.
Marvelous.
I guess maybe you should be in charge this week then. At least I'll be getting enough to talk in my own video. There's 25 minutes of me complaining about colors, so you won't get tired of my voice. Or you will be.
Echo is weg.
Oh, the echo is gone now, I hear?
Oh, marvelous.
I'm waiting for confirmation. Well, it wouldn't be a Sonic Roger stream if nothing went wrong. At least my wife, the Lucky Charm, is back now.
Yeah.
Yes. So we didn't have to wait 20 minutes to get started.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy. But yeah, so, well, let's take it a little easier. I think we always start a little too quickly. You guys have anything to mention? Had a good 2 weeks? Any crazy adventures you've gone through?
I haven't done that much. Well, I finally got around to working on my Forgotten Media 10th anniversary video, at least part one of it anyway. It was originally going to be a one single video, but I started writing so much on the retrospective episode. It's like, no, it's a little too long. I'll just cut it in half.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Luke, you had a good week?
Yeah, it was all right. Last night I saw the new Bond film with my dad. It was all right. It was a lot of good action. Daniel Craig was pretty good. I mean, the plot was pretty interesting for a last hurrah for Daniel Craig, and has a very surprising ending.
Yeah, I heard. I also heard that they were gonna use Daniel Craig to like attack Sean Connery on it. Like Sean Connery had like awkward moments with women, so now the Daniel Craig if they got talked on that or something. Or
Well, there is a scene. Well, I'm not sure about this, but there was a scene where he meets this girl, this woman, and she has this child, and he asks about it. She was like, "Oh, she's not yours," and you could see the disappointment in his face.
Oh, that's great. Nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I did like Casino Royale and Skyfall. I can't remember what happened in Quantum of Solace, and I didn't really like Spectre, as I thought it was a bit too generic.
Fair enough. Oh man, I still wanted to make a parody of Quantum of Solace. It was a funny movie.
I don't know what happened.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing this movie, so maybe at some point I go. But one thing I'm worried about is that it's getting a little too meta because they wanted to do too much commentary on the previous incarnations of Bond, but then do it in Daniel Craig, even though that should have been completely disconnected from the other Bonds. So that's kind of what I'm concerned about. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was a bit too much by the numbers in most Bond films. Like, oh, they have to do a thing. They have to stop this evil terrorist. He has to kiss a woman. He has to wear a suit. He has to do this and all that sort of thing in every single movie.
Yep. Oh well. What's funny about Daniel Craig is that there's not a single movie where it's just James Bond in his prime. He's always either a rookie or is about to go with retirement. It's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, or he retired, but no, I'm back, or he's dead, or no, I'm back.
This Bond just can't be Bond. He always has to be a retirement. Always has to be a rookie. Or...
Yeah, and also there's a theory that the reason there's so many James Bond, yet it's sort of set in the same continuity, because it's not exactly the same Bond. Like, James Bond is not his real name, so like they pass his name and the 00 number to a new person.
Yeah, exactly. James Bond is a title.
Yeah, or like the Doctor, he's a Time Lord and he regenerates.
Well, James Bond being a fake name at least makes sense, because considering how he constantly gives his name to everyone, even though it's supposed to be secret.
Yeah.
Kind of bad secret agent if you tell everyone your name immediately.
Yeah, even the villain does.
Exactly. So if it's a fake name, at least that would make sense.
I also find it funny when he goes to the villain's lair. The villain's like, Mr. Bond, have a cup of tea. Now I'm going to talk about Emma Plan, and now I'm going to kill you.
Oh, you British people, you're always so polite.
Yeah.
We got a donation from Jay's Reviews.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, G Reviews. He's not going to like this video. He's a big fan of colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see GoldenEye is one of my favourite Bond movies because it has a good plot and it helped inspire one of the best N64 games out there.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love that game. And a good movie. Right, I guess we wasted enough time. So shall we begin with Sonic Colors? What shall we do? Go straight,
might as well.
Go straight to the video or talk about other stuff first?
I suggest we watch the videos first so we have something to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, then we're about to get a big break because there's two videos we're going to watch. One video that the captain prepared for us, 7 minutes long, and one video I prepared, which is 25 minutes long because I love talking, I guess. So a bit of a dissected video this time. And both of us aren't too happy with Sonic Colors, so if you're a big fan of this game, I recommend you go to G Reviews. He has a great positive video about this game.
Yeah, we apologize in advance to Jay's Reviews.
Yeah.
We tried to give it a chance. I watched his video, and he was so optimistic and positive about it. And it's like, oh, maybe missed something. But all it did is just inspire a new video for me to complain about it. So, unfortunately, this game just does not click with me. Sorry, Colors.
I can't remember if I've actually seen his video or not. I've seen his other stuff, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too hesitant. It's like, nah, brings back all those bad memories. Meh. That kind of attitude.
It's a very recent video. But so let's go to the Captain's YouTube video. In just a moment.
The original Sonic Colors was an impressive game from a technical standpoint. It pushed the limits of the Wii, the weakest console of its generation, to give an experience similar to what the HD consoles provided to Sonic Unleashed that the Wii sadly missed out on. It wasn't as good, but the fact that it got as close as it did was impressive. Fast forward 11 years and 2 console generations, and Sonic Colors Ultimate has none of that. Without the hardware limitations of the Wii, Sonic Colors is underwhelming at best. I know I talk about Sonic Unleashed a lot, and trust me, I don't want to keep bringing it up when I'm talking about this game, but I have to. Sonic Unleashed had practically perfected modern Sonic gameplay, with not only insane speeds, but also a constant flow of action. You were always moving, and the steady supply of rings everywhere ensured that you always had at least some boost. If you had the levels memorized, you never had to stop or give up momentum, and even at its slowest moments, the game always made you feel like you were in control. Sonic Colors does not do this. While it was able to implement a similar boost mechanic, it limits not only how much of it you can get, but even where you can use it. Which brings me to my first problem with Sonic Colors Ultimate, the lack of controls. While Sonic Colors was designed to play with a Wii remote and nunchuck, which only had 4 primary buttons and a single joystick, Other controllers have much more, yet Sonic Colors Ultimate still only uses 4 buttons and a single joystick. While you are allowed to reassign buttons however you want, you cannot split the boost and drift buttons apart, and you cannot assign the quick step to a button. Sonic Generations nailed the controls, but this game still tried to intentionally mimic the limited control scheme of the Wii. Because of this, you can only drift when the game allows you to, at which point you can no longer boost, and you can only quick step when the game allows you to. Sure, there's only a select few places where you'd even want to, but the same can be said for Unleashed and Generations, and those games still give you the option to do so, and without taking away your ability to do something else. The levels are also incredibly short, some to an absurd degree, and they didn't have to be. It's clear at times that many of these were designed to be the same level, as you can see the level continues on after the goal ring, and some levels start off with a running start only to immediately kill your momentum. It's clear from this and the game's short runtime that the game only has about 12 full levels worth of content, but they intentionally spread it out to make it seem like there's 45 levels. Speaking of, it's time to move on to the biggest problem I have with Sonic Colors, both the original and Ultimate, the slow-paced gameplay. Sure, there are some glorious moments in the game where you're allowed to just boost all the way through, but they're never more than a few seconds, and usually the only challenge they present is timing your quick steps. The rest of the game is either very fast gameplay where you have almost no control, or very slow gameplay where you have very little control, and occasionally parts where you actually just have to wait for something to allow you to progress. And of course, there's platforming in Unleashed and Generations, just as there is in all mainline Sonic games, but it's usually limited to the slower paths, and even then, actively waiting for something is not what people want from a Sonic game. In Colors, the fastest path in the game will still require you to stop and wait for things, whether it be waiting for slow-moving platforms, waiting for your path to open up, or just waiting for your Wisp to activate, and in some cases, waiting for it to run out once you no longer need it. The entire inspiration for the Sonic series was Yuji Naka's love of speedrunning World 1-1 in the original Super Mario Bros. This is the entire point, and it's why Sonic is fast. If you memorize a level, you should be able to run through it at full speed. Sonic is designed with the philosophy of making speedrunning more accessible. This is why Sonic uses rings instead of hit points, so that new players can make mistakes and all they lose is their momentum. If you try and go full speed in a Mario or Crash Bandicoot game without knowing what's in front of you, you'll die very quickly. This is exactly the reason why I love Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations so much, because these games take this philosophy to its absolute peak, making games that, while difficult to master, give you an intense feeling of satisfaction for doing so. It feels good to blast through swarms of enemies and dodge obstacles at blinding speeds. It feels good to keep up these speeds in spite of everything trying to stop you from doing so, and it feels great to effortlessly conquer a level that you had previously struggled with your first time through. Sonic Colors tries to give you this feeling, but I don't feel satisfied when I beat a level I struggled on. I only feel relief that I don't have to play it anymore. This is not the same thing. I don't have a desire to go back and try and get a better time. Which brings me to my next point, the Metal Sonic races, aka Rival Rush. After you collect enough red rings in a zone, you can unlock a race against Metal Sonic on one of the levels. Winning this race gives you some music, a bunch of park tokens for customization, and if you beat them all, you get access to special dark items in the shop. I was kind of excited when I heard about this, because Metal Sonic races, while definitely being just another symptom of Sonic Team trying to pander to nostalgia, are inherently exciting. Now there's a hard time limit to complete the level, encouraging skilled play. Sounds good, right? Well, not here, because the levels aren't really designed around speedrunning. You have to deal with the awkward platforming of the game and a time limit, and these races don't always show up on the stage best suited for the race anyway. Thankfully, Metal Sonic doesn't cheat and just fly through the levels like they certainly could have made him. See him here just patiently waiting for his opportunity to platform? Look, he even crouches while he waits. Even Metal Sonic is bored. Also, in spite of the Rise of the Wisps animated short, Metal Sonic doesn't actually use Wisps during the races, so that's another mercy the developers have given us. But that's all the nice things I can say about Rival Rush. Which is unfortunate, because all I've said is that it could have been worse. And all of this just so you can get some customization items. Which brings me to my last, but certainly least, problem with the game, the customization. It's neat. I wish there was a lot more to it. Just some simple recolors, some more simple than others. I feel like seeing some actual outfits along the lines of Sonic Rivals or Sonic Adventure 2 would have been nice. Also, the only way to preview these customization items is on a model of Sonic that never stops running. Some of these designs are too intricate to get a good look at, with Sonic constantly swinging his arms and legs around. Why can't he just hold still? I just want to look at these things! Look, they had an opportunity to take a game a lot of people liked and make it even better, but they really didn't seem interested in improving it. It's still the same slow-paced game with the same frustrating gimmicks, not to mention the same terrible story and even the standard definition cutscenes, which just look terrible on an HD or even 4K TV. All of the new features are neat, but too bare bones to really make an impact. I've seen so many people say this was a good game to get a remake because it was stuck on the Wii, but that's where it belongs, and unless they were going to modernize it, it should have stayed there. If you love the original Sonic Colors, by all means, pick this one up, but as far as Sonic games go, this one was really held back by the limitations of a 15-year-old console that was considered weak even at the time. I can't recommend this game in 2021 on today's consoles. Please, Sega, just give us a Sonic Unleashed remaster instead, or at least a PC port. That's a game that can really benefit from advancements in modern hardware.
All right. And that concludes the Captain's video. A nice professional little normal review of Sonic Ultimate.
Thank you.
And I did another one who's not professional at all. And I'm going to talk about Sonic Colors, the regular, the Wii version, because I don't have Ultimate. Because I don't think Ultimate is going to do anything that to change my opinion on the regular Sonic Colors. Yeah, I guess we'll just go straight into that then.
Yeah,
All right.
might as well.
Long time ago when I started Dissected, I wanted to be nice and fair and a good boy for the Sonic franchise, and then a meta era started and beated all that positivity out of me, so never mind that now. Sonic Colors has been re-released, and I got motivated in trying the game again, giving it a second chance, and no, I still hate it, so I ain't gonna be nice. If you want niceness, I'll recommend G Reviews the video on Colors. There's an alternative version of me who does like the game, so off you go. Or off you stay here and watch me yell at Sonic Colors some more. Oh, and this is about the original Wii version, not the Ultimate version or the DS version for that matter, so there you go. Sonic Colors. Boy. You know, people have different opinions all the time. Lots of disagreements, especially in the Sonic fanbase. But usually this is so much disagreement of the entire statement, just the scope of it. Sonic 2, the perfect Sonic game? Well, it's pretty good and on the top, but yeah, perfect, yeah. Sonic Adventure aged badly? Yeah, it's a bit awkward, but still charming. See, it's not that we don't completely see the argument, just disagreement on the scale of the opinion, if that makes sense. Except, for me, when it comes to Sonic Colors. That's the one game I just don't get at all. I don't get people's responses. It feels like the world is playing a practical joke on me. Finally, a 3D Sonic game that's perfect, fast, speed action, no gimmicks! Yeah. It's the daytime Sonic Unleashed levels without the werehog. Colors like Sonic Unleashed? Yeah, more like the underwater labyrinth stages from the classic games. So if a game entirely made out of Labyrinth Zone, Tidal Tempest, and Tidal Plant Zone sounds like the ultimate Sonic game to you, then I'll happily recommend Sonic Colors for you. But, whoa. Now, to be fair, I'm mostly talking about the game's second half. Tropical Resort and Sweet Mountain, these zones I like. Well, I found adequate. I don't hate them. I mean, hell, visually they're amazing. Heck, visually, Sonic Colors is entirely amazing. I love the levels, the visuals, especially compared to current Sonic games. But the gameplay, it's, you know, in the first two zones, the gameplay is, yeah. But from Starlight Carnival on, boy! I mean, the first level of Starlight Carnival, look at it. So the level starts with a cutscene. This ain't gameplay. You mash the buttons all you want. Ain't a damn thing happening. But hey, pretty colors and shapes, I guess. Okay, cool. I mean, the Sonic Adventure games had indulgent moments like this. 5-second cutscene that blow our 90s minds away with these mind-blowing graphics. Okay, fine. Be a little self-indulgent. I mean, I suppose it looks pretty good. So yeah, a little cutscene, 20 seconds later. We get introduced to Colors' amazing 3D gameplay! As in, all you can do is just top left and right, and now you have to wait for 30 seconds to wait for this pointless section to end. Dumbed down Sonic Dash. Okay, cool. Then you get this riveting gameplay. The game tells you to attack, you attack, and then you attack again, and thrilling, I guess. Then another cutscene of Sonic running through shapes and colors. So we're 50 seconds into the level, and now the actual gameplay finally starts. Hooray! So we get some stupid block shit for a couple seconds. But now, we get introduced to Sonic Colors' favorite style of gameplay, waiting. Wait for the platform. Wait for the door to open. Wait for more elevate. And then we get another cutscene of pretty colors and shapes that goes on for 50 seconds. A little bit of Sonic Dash again. You can't really do anything, so just wait till it's over. Oh boy, another cutscene! Oh, and now the favorite part of the level. You land on this platform, which makes the game lock up your controls, so you have to wait until Sonic's launched into the air, and then he falls off screen. So now you have to blunder around off screen, desperately finding your way back. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm kind of confused. Why is this happening off screen? Huh? And then you get some more block shit. I mean, at least I can play this part, that's nice. Now, don't touch these platforms, because if you do, more waiting! Now, at the next part, if you're good at the game, you can boost past this section. And I definitely hope you do, because if you don't, you get trapped between these blocks, which means more wait. So after waiting for these parts, you get another cutscene. Waiting! The stupid attack shape swings again, what's the point? And now you have to wait for Sonic to finish landing, and now the level is over. Holy shit, I think I only spent 30 seconds of this 5-minute level actually playing anything. If Sonic unleashes boost to win, this game is wait to win. No wonder game journalists love this game. I mean, I think I've gone through this level in a previous Dissected before, so apologies if I was kind of repeating myself, but man, this is just such a perfect demonstration of everything I hate about Sonic Colors jammed into one level. Seriously, this part is just so funny to me. I mean, remember Sonic Mania with his wacky Rube Goldberg machine moments where each level gimmicks notch you into the next one and you bounce all across the level? Sonic Colors' version of that is this. Boing. 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 And I sped it up. This part takes about 20 seconds in the actual level. It's so freaking lame, and he doesn't even bounce across the level. It's just boing, boing, boing. It's like me making a parody of Sonic's stupid gimmicks. Why did I think this is a cool set piece? It's just so funny to me. And, you know, this was the real act. It was the real level. This is the best part of this zone. That's the main level. Most of the other levels, the other acts, are the sub-levels, which have even worse level design. Oh, look, elevators. More! Okay, check this out. This is amazing. So you got this level. It starts with a rolling start. In some levels of Colors, you start by standing still, and then you have to gain your own speed as the level progresses. But some levels send you immediately off at top speed. So check this level, right? Sonic launches himself full speed. Boing. Okay, then gone is your speed. Within a freaking second. The game starts you at full speed, and then immediately you smash into a wall. Full stop. That's just great. That's wonderful. I mean, you play Daytona with... And then as soon as the level starts, boom, fuck you, dead stop, start over from the start, eh? See, this is what I mean that this game feels like a practical joke, a troll, gaslighting. I mean, this is amazing. I want this framed in a museum, make a Sonic Failures museum. I want this right next to Big to Cat and Sonic 06 loading screens. It's amazing. See, whenever I play Sonic Colors, I'm in a constant state of irritation and confusion, and it's because of stuff like this. The game's constantly messing with your brain. You get 10 seconds of good game, and then 20 more minutes of... So every single time my brain is like, hey, this part is kind of fun, I'm enjoying myself, it's immediately punched. Smashes into a wall, bam! Oh wow, look at all this speed! This 3D is a wonderful environment! Look, it's not even about speed, it's about rhythm. I don't mind slow Sonic games when they keep their rhythm. Adventure is slow, Game Gear games are slow, but they just chug along in their natural speed. But Sonic Colors is constantly... It's giving me a mental whiplash. Man, so when in Sonic Adventure you have like pure Sonic levels and all the dumb gimmicky levels, Sonic Colors is like if you put all these levels in a blender and put them together. Like, yeah, you have... Technically it's all pure Sonic levels, but all those stupid gimmicky levels are still like mixed into the main Sonic level anyway. I mean, heck, I think they even put the Sonic 06 loading screens into the blender as well. I don't know. If you consider this to be fast, speedy 3D Sonic action, then at least I never want to hear any complaints about Amy in Sonic Adventure 1 or the Werehog ever again. But, you know, that's just me. Of course, that's not to say there's still very good parts in this game. I mean, there's a lot of parts I really enjoy, like this part. It's only a shame that the game actually wants you to boost through this. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna boost through this. I just spent 20 minutes doing this stupid junk. I finally get a part that's actually fun. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna walk quietly and just enjoy the scenery for a bit. Just gonna look at its beautiful backgrounds and imagine what it would be like if these levels were actually in a good Sonic game instead of Sonic Colors. I mean, the level design is often so weird to me. I mean, look at this. So you start, and there's platforms in a weird formation, okay? So I follow them, dead end. Oh, I have to go down, and then you land on more platforms? What's with these weird platforms in this pattern? Am I supposed to use a wisp here or stomp on them? I don't know. I get down further, and then you get a rocket wisp that wants to send you back up. I'm so utterly confused and baffled by this. This doesn't feel like a Sonic level or any level at all. It's just a bunch of stuff. Like, what was that? Was it supposed to solve a puzzle or something? I mean, it isn't bad. I got through it, but I'm just so confused. Like, it doesn't feel like a natural level. It's just a bunch of stuff that happens. Or this level. There's stuff. I guess I go this way? And oh, I beat the level. Did I break the game? Ooh, I do love these end of the levels interactions, though. That's pretty awesome. That should come back in a Sonic game. Okay, yeah, those are the sub-levels, or whatever they're called. Supposedly, Sonic Colors has main acts and fake bonus acts or something. It's not like the game gives you an indication or lets you skip the bonus levels. In the end, you have to play through all of them. It's not like Sonic Generations, where you clearly have like a main stage and extra missions. So it's all kind of weird and confusing. One moment you're all like, fast, 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 dodge, jump, dodge! And then bam! Static camera, a bunch of crap everywhere, and I need to observe and look. Like, okay, there's an enemy there, I need to activate that switch, I need to... What am I playing? It's a bit of a problem when I can't tell the difference between what's supposed to be Sonic fucking Unleashed and one of those damn Mario puzzle games on the Game Boy Advance, isn't it? Am I playing Sonic Unleashed, or am I playing Sonic vs. Donkey Kong, or what? Now, I do think there's one fair point I need to make here. I suck at this game. I'm not very good at this game, so I suppose a huge amount of my displeasure is caused by my own incompetence. After all, this is one of the Sonic games following the holy upper route is good, lower route is punishment rules, where a skilled player gets the cooler parts of the level, usually at the top, where the sucking player, me, gets the lesser cool parts. Looking at speedruns and S-rank playthroughs on YouTube does show the game is way more, well, way less annoying when you play well, I suppose. So hey, get her up the skills to move out of the punishment route. But forget about the older games where the difference between the punishment route and the good route is so small, I can barely even tell what route I'm on most games. I mean, I guess the better route makes you beat the level 10 seconds faster, but whatever. But boy, this game, does this game put the capital P in the word punishment. Because if you ain't doing a good job, Daddy Colors will give you a spanking you won't forget. Whew. So much that I outright refuse to get better at this game. If I have to suffer through this much pain to get better, you know what? I'd rather use my pain for something more productive like losing weight or gaining new valuable skills. I ain't wasting it on Mr. Spanky over here. You ain't deserving my skills, no siree. Hey, and besides, I'm using an emulator, so I can download someone else's save file. Yes! I'd finally get to play this game as Super Sonic! You know, this is the first 3D Sonic game that has Super Sonic in the main stages. Oh boy, it'll be fun Oh, and Ultimate has Metal Sonic races here too? Huh. Oh, look how it started, Speedway. You got competition. Isn't it adorable how everyone's just pretending this game is super fast? I heard a lot of frustrated Colors fans lament the fact that platforming is getting a bad rap in the game, and I feel your pain. It sucks when perfectly fine things are getting lambasted. Nothing wrong with platforming in a Sonic game. I mean, same thing with Sonic's friends being thrown out of an airlock because they didn't have the most thrilling gameplay styles in the past. But yeah, hey, the Sonic Avengers didn't get shit for their platforming. Mostly because it got shit for the hundreds of other things it did wrong. But also, hey look, platforming! Without having to shift to a pointless 2D perspective. And even better, without slowing the game's pace down by 600%. You run fast, do platforming in one smooth set of moves, and continue cruising at full speed. No sweat. See, platforming can be done perfectly fine in a 3D plane. It's Sonic Colors has to turn it into an annoying, stupid chore. I mean, I guess it's because of the boost. With boost, it's kind of hard to have interesting level design when Sonic goes fast. Unleashed HD had a couple moments of proper 3D platforming, but yeah, the Wii version of Unleashed mostly kept to the Werehog and 2D areas as well. So yeah, I don't know. Boost gameplay just isn't a good fit if you want platforming, so I'm hoping Boost will go, or is relegated to racing spin-offs from now on, but we'll see. So, what else should I talk about? Oh yeah, cutscenes? Now, I won't be talking about the story anymore. I mean, what else needs to be said?
Your plans have been crushed by Sonic for like, ever. He stops you like it's his job or something.
This is the part where you're supposed to laugh! Laugh, you stupid motherfucker!
And does anyone like the drill wisp? I mean, I like them underwater, but the level design of the drill sections... I mean, the game gives no indication where you need to start drilling. I usually get it at full speed, so I'm confused if I should activate it immediately where I got it, or halfway through my running. But you can't run really too fast, or the game will lock you out of returning to the previous location. And then you drill, and it's just this huge, open, empty area with nothing in it for miles. But somewhere there is the labyrinth. And it's not even going through the labyrinth that's the challenge. It's just finding the entrance to the damn thing. And then it's filled with these player punch points where if you drill too far you can get trapped in these holes. Great, now I'm stuck here. How do I get out? You guessed it. More waiting! Ah, for fuck's sake. I'm surprised Sonic Colors doesn't have a queuing line waiting to get into the ride level. Then again, that would require Sonic Colors to actually utilize its theme park concept for once, and actually have rides in this game. Unfortunately, the level design is too bland and obsessed with freaking elevators that care about its theme park premise. Except for the DS version, actually did bother. Anyway, eventually the power-up returns, so off exploring you go. But don't explore too much, or you can even drop out of the drill area entirely with no way to get back in. Is this fun? Does anyone like this? I mean, they're optional, fair enough, but damn, this shit ranks right up there with Big to Cat Fishing as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that they're optional can be a bother too, because with colors, you're constantly in this weird Schrödinger's cat situation, where the level simultaneously wants you to use the wisp, but also doesn't want you to. So, which is one of the many reasons why the level design is constantly frustrating and confusing to me, because I'm never quite sure which part belongs to the regular path I'm supposed to take, which is the punishment you screwed up route, and which is the optional wisp route, because all those routes kind of blend together, especially in these huge open areas like Aquarium Park. Oh look, a drill pipe! I'll go through here and I'll get stuck in this claustrophobic area, bouncing around all over the place. The ceiling apparently doesn't break, so I guess I have the wrong wisp, even though this is the only wisp how you can get here. So I finally find a way out, which leads me right back where I started. What the fuck was that? What was I supposed to do? Did I have to right wisp the right direction? Did I miss something? What the fuck was that? I mean, again, it's a small nitpick, and in an area where most players probably don't even come, probably. But with this kind of stuff happening all the time, I'm just in a constant state of annoyance. My brain is constantly this foggy, just swirling with confusion and irritation, and just like, why is Sonic Colors like this? With Colors, I feel like I always come in halfway through a puzzle that started in some optional earlier room half a level ago that I missed or something. And of course my old rants about the lack of 3D gameplay. Seriously, never mind being angry that there barely is any 3D, never mind that. Just, why have these here at all if they're so spectacularly pointless? Damn, even the sub mini levels of the Sonic Simulator can't even bother to have even one 3D level in it. But hey, why need those in a 3D platform game, right? It's these cynically pointless 3D parts and speed parts that make Sonic Colors come across to me as so cynical, when I always think of this game as a pure 100% puzzle game that just occasionally puts on a Halloween mask for a few seconds and pretends to be Sonic Elite to trick idiots. But never mind. I nitpicked this game to death before, and specifically for the new Ultimate release, I watched a couple new videos about Sonic Colors, including the G Reviews Ultimate video, and he also later made a video about Sonic Generations, where he and people in the comments mentioned that Planet Wisp in Generations is their least favorite level. And this fascinated me. I mean, hey, I agree the Planet Wisp level sucks, but of course I hate it. It imitates the Sonic Colors level design, and I hate that game, so... But fans of Sonic Colors dislike this level. Oh, that's more fascinating. What's so different about Planet Wisp in Generations, where it's apparently inferior to the Colors version? I mean, the cynical asshole answer to that riddle would be that the Colors level design is automatically seen as terrible compared to the vastly superior Generations, but let's be a little more fair. Little, because I'm still a cynical bastard when it comes to Colors. Now, I'm only talking about the modern Sonic version of Planet Wisp, not the classic Sonic one. I mean, classic Sonic is deliberately doing a different take on the level, representing a different gameplay philosophy. Modern Sonic is the one who's meant to be an exact replica of the original. I mean, otherwise it'd be like comparing Spagonia with the Werehog level. Anyway, I had a few discussions about what makes the color version superior over the Generations level, and I read some comments. Most of the arguments are kind of meh to me. Planet Wisp in Generations forces you to slow down. Level design that forces you to slow down? In a colors-inspired level? No. Look, I know I'm being a complete dick when mocking the elevator and button press parts. It's not like I have zero tolerance for that. I mean, Sonic Adventure, the Game Gear game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles have that shit. Hell, even my own custom levels I'm making for Sonic Robo Blast 2 have that kind of stuff as well. It's not automatically bad. It's just the sheer amount of it and the sheer juxtaposition compared with the more speedy parts that make it stand out so much in colors. Anyway, Planet Wisp in Generations. There's a couple of good points. First part is, when you play Sonic Colors a lot and then you skip to Sonic Generations for the Planet Wisp level, the first thing you're gonna miss entirely is the double jump. Because, okay, I have to admit, you can considerably reduce the amount of waiting on the elevators by using the double jump to get going. And boy, are you going to miss that double jump in Generations. I kept accidentally doing the speed jump instead. So yeah, no escape from the elevators in this one, so I guess that's a point for the Colors version. Then there's also the length. 10 minutes is what it usually takes to finish Planet Wisp on Generations, and that's a little long for a Sonic stage. I think 5 minutes is about the right amount of time for a Sonic level. Although, admittingly, I've seen speedrunners beat this level in 4 minutes, so hey, if you can master Sonic Colors, you can master this level and push it to a much more reasonable running time. So, Colors experts should really use this argument. Just get good, I guess. Now, this minecart also gets a lot of shit for some reason. I like them. Well, okay, I don't like them because they're just more... But at least they're more part of the world building. Actual minecarts rather than just generic video game platforms. You can boost on them and then they smash into the other carts. That's kind of cool. And they go faster than regular platforms. So better world building, more dynamic movement, flow better with the game space. So I'm not sure why they're worse than Colors platforms, but whatever. But no, here is the main argument. The main difference that sets Generations, Planet Wisp, and Colors apart. Here's the big argument that you see coming all the time. In Sonic Colors, you can beat the game without ever using the Wisps, where in Generations it kind of forces you to use the Wisps. That's the big difference. And I find this argument fascinating. See, at first, I thought this argument was on behalf of people hating Colors like me. Don't worry, if you hate using the Wisps so much, you can play the game without them. Ah, nice. Of course, I have discovered since then it isn't so much the Wisps that's ruined the games for me. The thing ruining Sonic Colors for me is... In fact, playing Sonic Colors, you quickly learn that mastering Wisp will help you avoid all these annoying parts. Well, not all of them, but kind of. So it's actually better to use the Wisp rather than play the game as pure Sonic. But never mind that. This is the argument that Colors fans use for themselves. So no, Sonic Colors is actually superior because the Wisps are more optional than they were in Generations. So, okay, first of all, I'm confused why that would be a plus for Colors fans. If you like Colors, don't you love Wisps? This ain't like a Sonic Adventure fan wanting to avoid Big to Catch fishing or an Elise fan not caring about the Werehog. I mean, at the very least, these parts are separate, so there's plenty of content you can play without these parts contaminating it. But Wisps are intertwined and central to all of Sonic Colors content. It's not just a side thing. There ain't much of Sonic Colors to enjoy if you avoid the Wisp part. It ain't a side chapter. Colors is Wisps. Besides, you might be thinking the same thing I was. Can you actually beat Sonic Colors without ever using the Wisp? And the answer to that is, I think, yes, for the most part. The game actually does go out of its way to always give a non-Wisp solution to its level design. I mean, I didn't try every stage, there's only so much Sonic Colors I can take, but as far as I checked, there usually is always an alternative. I mean, the game kinda has to because of Super Sonic. When you play as him, you can't use any Wisps. So, if there are sections you have to use a Wisp, Super Sonic would be completely stuck. So yeah, the part where you have to use hover to climb the tower, you can just jump your way up. I mean, it ain't fun, but you can't do it. Anyway, there's this video on YouTube doing the No Wisps challenge, so I guess the real answer is in that video, but I'm too lazy to check, so I'll give the game the benefit of the doubt. However, investigating the optionality of Wisps... Optionality, is that a word? Well, if you understand what I meant, then it's a word. Investigating how optional these Wisps are, suddenly I get it. Suddenly I realize the value of Colors and what makes it tick for people. 2 words. Speed run. Checking the footage of people not sucking at colors, and you can see the boost, flip, spin, and trick your way around these levels, skipping all the annoying parts and turning the game into one glorious boosting bliss. That's how you're supposed to play the game. Master the level design in such a way where you can skip the annoying parts of the level and just fly through it. And the more annoying and shitty the level design is, the more satisfying and cathartic skipping it is. Ah, see, there's the key, there's the secret. That's where Sonic Generations screwed up. That's the mistake, the fatal mistake Sonic Generations made. Silly Sonic Generations thought that making a good level is by making a good level. Instead, Colors who figured out, hey, make a shitty level that's fun to skip. Now it makes sense. Ha! I finally discovered how to enjoy Sonic Colors. Well, that's excellent. So, join me, my dear watchers, as we finally enjoy Sonic Colors the right way. Let's play the game and how we're supposed to do, by going to skip all the levels. By not playing the game, and playing a better game instead. Ah, yeah, this is much better. Well, suddenly became a positive video after all, who knew? Anyway, do you guys have a better argument on what made Planet Wisp Colors superior than the Generations version or anything else? I'm sure I'll be told in the comments, so, see ya. Alright, we're done again. Alright.
That was certainly an interesting video.
Yes, I hope it wasn't too long. I suddenly had a lot of frustration I needed to get out. That's usually not a good idea, but I needed the video for this stream. Okay, let's start.
There we go. Alright, sorry about that. During the video, my chair kind of broke a bit because apparently one of the bolts came off, so I had to screw that back on.
That's awkward. Sorry to hear that. And of course, and the timing is awkward because for you the video is not over yet. So.
Yeah, there's a big delay on my end, yeah.
Oh well. Well, I guess it's time for Luke to talk because the captain and me did all the talking so far.
Look at the Discord team.
Okay.
No say?
So do you have any thoughts on colors, Luke?
Well, when I first played I only got the original Wii version, and I remember liking it. I mean, I thought it was fine. I think it's because it seems to be a return to form after all the gimmicky ideas they had in previous games, like werehogs and swords and that. And I didn't think the Wisp power-up idea was that bad. I think it's because the whole game is kind of like designed like a Mario game. It's because people are saying like, oh, wish Nintendo would make a Sonic game. Well, this and Lost World is kind of like what would happen if Nintendo did make a Sonic game. And yes, I can understand the whole waiting thing. I think it's because I've been a Mario fan myself. I played a lot of Mario games. I kind of got used to the waiting thing. But after seeing those videos, I can kind of understand how annoying it is just to wait through all that stuff.
Well, waiting itself is not bad. It's just that it's a juxtaposition with the speedy stuff. Like it's constantly it's from going from a hot sauna to a cold ice water.
Yeah, and also with the story. I mean, I remember liking the story at the time, but watching cutscenes of it now, it is a little bit awkward with really goofy dialogue. I mean, I've seen better writing in a Peppa Pig episode.
Ouch.
Oh wow.
Ouch, ouch.
I remember when we first talked about Sonic Colors way back in the day, we talked about that there was one cutscene that was actually good, and it's the one where Sonic finds the Nega Wisp factory.
Oh yeah, that was very good.
And like, there's all this tensity, but like, it came at such a late point in the game that like we already knew all of this information, so it was just even more aggravating that there was this one good cutscene later on.
And I found it funny that they make such a big deal of Yakker missing. Well, there's never a rescue scene. But
Yeah,
sorry,
and also,
yeah.
Yeah, I felt there was a bit of a missed opportunity in the game because there was a bit where Tails gets brainwashed by the Hyper-Go thing, and I thought, oh, are we going to get a boss fight where we have to fight Tails? And they're like, no, he was over it in about a few minutes. Because the idea of fighting your best friend seems like a very interesting or outside-the-box kind of idea for a boss fight, but there's probably people that don't like the idea of fighting Tails because he's a cute character in that. But the idea of fighting a really evil Tails might be an interesting idea.
Could have been a puzzle boss fight where you don't actually attack Tails, but have to manipulate the level that he just gets boxed in or something.
Yeah, because there are
Yeah.
boss fights where you have to fight your friend, but not exactly cause physical harm.
Yeah, like something like you don't actually fight Tails, but you have to destroy these like generators to weaken the power and stuff.
Yeah.
But alright, I think we complained enough about the game. Poor Sonic Colors. Does anyone have something nice to say about the game?
Well, at least the DS version was better.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
haven't played.
Yeah, it was
DS.
technically Sonic Rush 3.
Basically.
Yes, recycles the Rush gameplay engine and whatnot. But hey, I like the Rush games, and the writing's definitely less terrible. And the addition of Sonic Friends was kind of a neat bonus. So at least there, it kind of felt like, yeah, there's actual activity in this theme park, unlike in the Wii version, where it's just Sonic, Tails, Robotnik, and that's it. The whole place is just abandoned.
Hmm.
It's
And
always
also
the
has
same.
a new final boss as well.
Mother Wisp.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mother Wisp, because yeah, that robot thing. It was. Yeah, I think that was just a robot in the Wii version. In the DS version, they kind of expanded. It's like, oh yeah, the final boss. It's actually a corrupted Mother Wisp that takes care of them and yada yada.
Yeah, in the Wii version, they wanted to make Eggman the final boss again, like instead of the generic god deity that Eggman tries to corrupt, but then he becomes too powerful, and they all have to band together to take on the god.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, I remember at the time people were very happy that Eggman was an end boss again. And I have nothing against Eggman being an end boss. I just wish he wasn't so dumbed down and pathetic before that point. Because I don't really care about an epic fight with Eggman if he's so pathetic. If the whole game just broke him down at that point. You need to build him up. Make him a big epic villain so it's thrilling and motivating to fight him. Now I just feel sorry for just beating the guy further up.
Yeah, of course, the final boss itself on the Wii, it's to me, it's kind of a mixed bag. On one hand, it's kind of like unique because we've never seen this kind of final boss before. Like, oh, chasing after Robotnik on this endless hallway and dealing with his battles. The only downside is that this pretty much became the basis of the final boss of every Sonic game after that. Sonic Lost World, they do the same. Sonic Forces, they do the same.
That's the tragedy
let's
of... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Let's hope they change it up for Sonic Rangers or whatever it is.
Well, if they're going more for an open world instead of a boost game, then I guess it's going to have a different type of style
I
gameplay to it.
feel like Eggman might be going back to like trying to control an evil god again, because with those mysterious ancient writing images.
Possibly, yeah. But hey, maybe he
okay.
successfully does manage to tame the beast, and he actually is in control of it.
Like with the time eater.
Yeah, like you did the Time Eater.
So then he's still the final boss. We'll see. We'll see what Sonic Rangers does. They have a lot to prove, at least, because boy, did this decade make me cynical and not very trustful of Sonic Team and Sega at this point. I'm a very bitter, cynical guy, and that's not good.
I definitely remember back then I didn't like colors either. It was just kind of this unspoken rule about like no one should criticize Sonic Colors back when it was like the newest Sonic game. Then when I started watching your Dissected series from like the real early days, like yeah, it was definitely nice because I think you were like one of the rare people back then that didn't hold back with criticizing the game. So I was just like, yes, thank you, finally someone who understands me.
Although to be fair, I see a lot more criticism these days. So
Yeah, it just took over 10 years for it to become no more noticeable.
so now I kind of feel bad about making that video, and it kind of feels like beating a dead horse. Like if I make a video about Sonic 06 now. So, then again, I replayed the game. I got frustrated again, so I needed to get that loose. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much.
So there's a random question in the comments I wanted to answer.
Sure, go ahead.
Jonathan Vo asks, can you speak Japanese? Nihongo ga hanashimasu.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what that means.
That means I speak Japanese.
Oh, well done.
Ah.
Oh yeah, you following lessons for it?
Yeah, I started Duolingo almost a year ago. I'm making some progress.
Oh, nice. My wife also
Ah,
followed a couple Japanese lessons. You want to go there? I think everyone from our generation wants to go to Japan at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I know I have. I managed to go there before the pandemic hit, so that was a fun experience.
You lived the dream. You actually went to Japan.
Yeah. Well, that's mostly because thanks to my sister and brother-in-law who were living there for like a year or two, so they definitely know more about Japanese culture and know more about Japanese language than I do. But still, it was nice. Got to see a lot of sights and sounds. It was definitely very green over there when we visited in the summer. Yeah, very green with all of its rice fields and mountains.
Oh, I bet. I mean, you can see it in anime. They love their scenery porn.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the scenery is really great over there in the summer, but it can definitely get hot as hell because, well, inside air conditioning is, let's just say, a little limited. So yeah, you have to equip yourself with fans or something else to cool down.
I always love seeing that in anime. Those little cooling machines outside their houses, little boxes with a fan. We don't have
Yeah.
them here, so.
Yeah, I tell you, like when I was over there, we bought so much stuff over there. I mostly spent, I don't know, half of my money just buying like a whole bunch of Pablio merchandise from Pokemon because I just find them so adorable, and the other half was just finding a bunch of Japanese exclusive games for like ideas for my Forgotten Media series. And I tell you, even going to a used game store was very overwhelming. You know, like oh my god, so many of these games that never got released outside of Japan, so many ideas for my series.
I bet. Of course, always a challenge to get them to work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fortunately, I have. Well, I only have two Japanese working consoles. One is a Japanese PlayStation. I got that mostly out of nostalgia, and it was a hell of a lot cheaper than a Japanese PS2. So I figured, I'll just go with the one that'll be a standard. And the other one I have is not really made in Japan, I don't think, but it's a console called the Retron 5. It's kind of like a emulator console thingy where it plays like old games from like NES, Super NES, Genesis. And I mostly bought that because it's region free, so I can play all the Famicom and Super Famicom stuff.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, well, maybe one day I'll go there too. And Luke, you any plans to go to Japan?
Well, it is a bit far. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, I'm not. I don't travel that much, and also you got to have to learn the language and like understand all the signs and that that will take a while. But I would like to go because it's practically the mecca for Japanese video games and anime and manga and all that.
Oh yeah, big capitals like Akihabara. That's the place.
Yes.
That's like the big capital of manga and Japanese entertainment.
Yeah, it kind of overtook Shibuya, huh? But yeah, if it's still standing, because boy, another Sega arcade closed down. I heard recently, so it ain't going very well.
Yeah, that is a shame. But of course, yeah, Japan's pretty big into the arcades. We went to a couple of them. It was very nice. Lots of got to see old Taiko Drum Master. They're definitely big on like claw machines and flying. There's another one called flying saucers. They're kind of like claw machines, but the goal is to like not actually grab the item. You actually have to push it because the prize is like sitting in between these bars, and you have to adjust the flying saucer claw thing to try and push it in between them to make it fall through. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I heard they've got very strange arcade games over there. I think there's one where it involves flipping a table or a chair or something.
Oh, I have that one in Amsterdam. Oh, I love that one. That's great. In Amsterdam, there was an arcade where I played that. May I go ahead?
Yes, I think the funniest moment I had was when I got a fidget spinner over there because it was a couple of years ago. So this was definitely when the whole fidget spinners was becoming a fad. So in Japan, they were freaking all over the place. Like we went to a festival and there must have been like 3 or 5 booths that were selling nothing but fidget spinners. And I ended up getting one out of a claw machine. I just used a $100 yen coin, which is like $1 US. So I popped that in, I missed it, so I tried it again, and then I got it. And that's the story of how I wasted $2 on a fidget spinner.
Amazing. But yeah, the table flipper, I guess you play as like an angry guy. You're in different social situations at each level, and then you have to find the right timing to flip the table. It's very weird, but it's awesome. With all the physics, where if you flip the table, the items fly against all the other people, and they crash out of a window and all that. It's awesome. I love it.
I think one place I like to go to in Japan is to find the Nintendo HQ and go like, oh my god, this is Nintendo. It's where all those Nintendo games are made.
Ah, yeah.
That's in Kyoto, I think. Yeah.
Ah, Kyoto.
But yeah, I guess we're going a little off topic.
Yeah, way off topic there, but yeah. Well, that ain't nothing new here.
Oh well. Guess we need a little break on Sonic Colors. We talked a lot about it. I guess we move on to we already talked about the cartoons, didn't we?
Yeah, you guys already talked about the...
Yeah, briefly,
Yeah.
We talked about the missed potential of the actually funny Cubot joke.
Yeah, that he had the narrator voice. That was a funny
yeah.
joke. Unfortunately, there was no payoff to it. Oh well.
Hmm.
But yeah, we better not repeat ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and we already did the. Well, I didn't see it mostly because I just ignore any of the official web stuff that they do. I think the only thing colors related we have left to talk about are just the comics, or at least the ones that were made to promote the games.
Fair enough. Well, there was one
Who
for
better to
Archie.
do that?
Sorry, what do you say, Captain?
I said, and who better to do that?
Then Melting Man or you?
Melting Man.
Melting
Yeah,
Man, yeah.
'cause I'm-
I haven't even read them.
Because I'm more of the Archie Sonic expert here.
Yeah, we start with the Archie ones. Oh, give us a backstory. What's going on here? Why did they make a Sonic Colors comic?
Okay, I'll try and keep it short. So basically, it's just a common thing with Archie Sonic back then, where they would do short little stories to advertise upcoming Sonic games. They've been doing this for like years. I think the first one they did was issue 6 when they did their own story adaptation of Sonic Spinball. Sometimes they do their own thing for a while, and then I think around the time when they did Sonic Adventure 2, then the advertisement promo comics started to just become more like, oh, short stories, da-da-da, and then it just purposely ends on a cliffhanger where it says, oh, want to see what happens next? Buy the game and see it for yourself. And that was always a real pet peeve of mine, mostly when it comes to, aside from taking up space, but it also annoys me when they decide, like, oh, yeah, that comic we advertised, yeah, that's canon now in the comics. It didn't happen that much. I think it was only Sonic Rush Adventure where they did that, but of course that's mostly because Sega wouldn't let them use Eggman Nega for some reason. But yeah, that's just a thing that they've done. And with IDW, they haven't done it that much. They only did Team Sonic Racing, but that's it. At least I'll give them credit. At least they kept the promo comic as its own standalone issue and not just shove it into the main comics.
Melting Man, I don't know if you noticed, but Team Sonic Racing is literally the only Sonic game that has even come out since IDW started. So they did 100% of all the games.
Yeah, that's
Just say.
Oh yeah, that is true. Because yeah, when Forces was coming out, yeah, IDW Sonic wasn't a thing.
So they've done all the games that have been come out. They just haven't been coming out any game. Well, I guess they didn't do in Sonic Colors Ultimate, I suppose. But
well, yeah, they did one for the Sonic Colors Ultimate comic. Well, that was more of a web comic by someone else. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right, the Archie one. Not much to say. There's just a few bits in there. It seems to be more of advertising, I guess, the DS version, because we actually see the flame, the burst wisp in there. But yeah, I think it's decently written. There's not that many like corny jokes or anything. It kind of feels like a standard Sonic adventure. The one bit that I found hilarious is when Tails pulls out his translator, which for some reason looks like a weird Game Boy knockoff in this comic, and how the translator refers to Robotnik as the omelet dictator.
Sounds funnier than any of the jokes of the translator in the actual game. But,
Right?
Yeah.
That's actually clever.
Yeah, and that's the only time they do a translation joke in this short 5-page comic.
Yeah, that shows how much better Ian Flynn is as a writer, because at least that translation error makes sense for something the aliens would have said. It isn't just random. It's just like, oh, ice cream, because that's a funny word, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with what the aliens probably said. At least here, Ian Flynn puts a little thought into what the aliens actually would have said.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much the opening cutscenes of Colors, except slightly better written. So.
It's slightly better written. Kind of like the little dynamic that Orbot and Cubot had, like, oh, I believe we better, part of valor or something. And Cubot's like, oh, you mean? Meaning what? And then Orbot's like, well, as you might put it, let's get out of Dodge, partner. I could just imagine Orbot trying to do a mock Western accent with that.
Yeah, fair enough. Even though I was about to say, even though they didn't establish he talks cowboy, but he does have one sentence of that. Oh well.
Yeah, I think it's just a kind of throwaway line in the comics. It's like, oh, we must get that voice chip fixed. Yeah, we really must fix that voice chip. Yeah, it's only briefly mentioned.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of funny to see how the art style's a little bit different. I mean, the Whisper probably already set, but how the level looks like and indeed the translator were different. So I guess this comic was made when the game was still in development.
Yeah, it might have been. I can't remember which came first, the comic or the game.
All right, but yeah, not much to say about it. Yeah, and then there's the newer comic, although that has nothing to do with IDW then.
Yeah, IDW didn't make the promo comic for Sonic Colors Ultimate. That was like made in Japan, I think. Which why like when it showed up on the Twitter accounts, like, oh, first here's the Japanese text, and then later, okay, here's the official English translations.
Although the art style does look familiar, so I think the artist did draw some of the covers of IDW at least, because it does look like the cover art of some issues. But it's an
Yeah.
awesome art style.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking more of like the art style similar to the Sonic Colors web cartoon. But yeah, I haven't looked at who the artist was for that one.
But yeah, as usual, the thing I like the most is that it puts a little more context to colors, as in you actually see some attractions. Then again, it's the same roller coaster you actually see in the level. And Sonic
yeah.
and Tails sitting on the couch. It's always a weird idea that Sonic has a house. You know, the games never really go into that.
Well, didn't Sonic Shuffle give Sonic a house?
Yep, and a couple more games. Sonic Secret Rings, I think.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Sonic Labyrinth. So always the best games do give him a house.
Well, he's not like he's a homeless person, is he?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be. Oh, and Sonic Boom also gave him a house, so there you go. Then Knuckles is the homeless one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, the recent webcomic, yeah, like the Archie one's not much to say, and heck, there's not that much dialogue. It's only like the last 2 pages where there actually is some text, which is just Robotnik advertising his theme party, and Sonic and Tails like, oh, sounds suspicious. Let's go and visit it. Whee!
Yeah, pretty much we already knew. But yeah, at least it's scenes that aren't in the actual game, I suppose. But yeah, there's not much to say. It's just promotional stuff. Artwork is nice, so there's that.
Yeah.
Anyone else has any thoughts, Luke, Captain?
Not really. No.
Yeah, basic stuff.
At least I'm happy we finally got to cover Archie Sonic related thing on this.
Well, one day we'll go to the actual Archie, and then we have a lot to go through.
Yeah, one day, but not right now, because yeah, Archie Sonic's a whole different beast compared to IDW Sonic.
Yes, and then we have to start at the beginning when it was really weird, when it didn't have a tonal clarity yet. So that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, when it was more, it was more lighthearted, or as I like to call it, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but with SatAM characters.
So basically, the Christmas blast of the past episode. Oh, well, enough obscure references. I guess it's finally time we move on to IDW proper. Or does anyone still have anything to say about Sonic Colors?
No, not really.
We bashed the poor game enough today for Sonic Colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for it now since most people are starting to agree on this. But it's a curiosity. It fascinates me. I'll say that. That's why I keep going. I don't just hate it. It's just fascinating to me. But yeah. IDW, the Anniversary comic. Oh boy, look at how happy the cover looks like, how cheerful. It's an anniversary. We're going to celebrate. But boy, is it depressing.
Oh god, yes.
Very much so.
I mostly remember how this was a special that got delayed so many times. Like, it was supposed to come out on March of 2020, but then it just kept getting delayed, and then, of course, COVID came in and threw a spanner into the works. So after getting delayed like 5 times in a row, it finally got released on July of that same year, which is funny because by the time it finally got released, the Metal Virus arc was already at its big epic ending.
Awkward. Oh well. And especially awkward to have all these stories about the virus right in the middle of the corona outbreak. Talk about timing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Talk about timing. Oh boy. But yeah, I guess we'll just go into it then, shall we? Who wants to do the first, the Big the Cat story? Because Big the Cat has to be cheerful, right?
I'll do that.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Yeah. So the Big the Cat one is very interesting. It starts with Big the Cat at his home in Mystic Jungle, just talking to Froggy about an adventure he had looking for Froggy. And it's kind of interesting because it shows him being in a lot of places where the heroes were at the time, which is just a funny thing that's like true to Big the Cat, is he's always where the action is just by accident.
A bit of a Forrest Gump or something. I actually did check the old issues, but I couldn't always find them. Sometimes I did, but most of the time I didn't. So
yeah, I actually pointed it out last time, is that in the crowd shot in the Restoration HQ, there is a speech bubble of Big looking for Froggy. and
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to become relevant this time.
Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, I checked a couple more examples, but that's I didn't find any evidence then. Maybe I overlooked it. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, the weird part of this is that obviously the events of the story are happening around him without him noticing. So a zombie apocalypse actually just breaks out without him noticing at all, and it gets really dark because he
Yeah.
notices like the effects of it. Like he says that entire cities are empty, but like he doesn't understand that something has happened. He's just
Yeah.
looking for his frog. And there's some really dark imagery in this comic. Like
Yeah.
there's one panel where he's like standing next to a wall, and on the wall is graffiti that tries to say "run away," but they never finished writing it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah.
This is a very dark comic, both in like thematics and in its art style.
Art
Yeah,
style is so
especially-
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the one panel where we see Biggs fishing under the bridge, and it's only in silhouettes, but we see all these like Mobians falling to their doom into this vat of the metal virus.
Yeah. And there is the moment where he finally gets Froggy and he starts fighting a bunch of zombots, not knowing like what they are, but just he has to protect Froggy because that's his friend. And it was nice seeing him have a badass moment because Big the Cat is actually a very awesome character. But the moment Froggy jumps on one of the zombots, I know how it's gonna end. And yeah, Big and Froggy are both infected, and that's a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of depressing because it isn't even a violent ending. It's just a very somber one. We're just kind of looking on the landscape and knowing something is wrong, but not really knowing what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
Luke, you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I just really like the dark imagery of this comic in some of the frames, like in the ruined cities, like something out of like the dark future levels in Sonic CD, and especially with the corpse or the zombots falling down. I think I've seen an advert like that or something. But regarding in the ruined city panel, if you look at the street sign, it says Elson Street and Dobbin Drive or something. I think that's a reference to Richard Elson and Richard Dobbin, who worked on Fleetway Sonic the Comic.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a cool detail. I didn't know.
And also, I'm really liking John Gray's artwork here. I mean, I wasn't a fan of him when he did that stuff like the off-panel strips in Archie, but here it's a lot more detailed and a lot more grim. And also, looking at this crowd panel in the restoration, I think there's some spotted French-looking character. It might be a reference
Oh
to-
yeah, there's in the crowd character, there's two specific characters that I'm sure Roger might be surprised seeing. I posted that in the chat there.
Oh, I'll check it out in a moment.
But yeah, I really like how dark and grim they made this this comic, showing that Sonic can go dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was definitely-
Marsupilami and Spiro. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, they make
he
a
an-
cameo in the story.
Is he European or something then? Because I don't think Americans know any of them.
Might
Yeah.
explain the
I-
Fleetway reference.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen a Fleetway in there, but yeah, I figured kind of
The
John
streets,
Gray
he just talked about it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, John Gray. Yeah, his artwork was actually surprisingly decent here. Like, I'm fine with his cartoony stuff from the off panels in Archie Sonic, but I definitely didn't like it from when he started in the comics for Archie, the main stories for Archie Sonic, because that's when the stories started to get more darker. Like Charmy's hive colony was blown up, and Sonic and Sally got broke up. Oh, while the characters are all drawn with these over the top anime expressions, so it doesn't gel well. But here it actually works pretty good.
Yeah. And also, I say when I was reading this panel, I had the slow cover of Mad World playing in my head while I was playing with, like all around me are familiar faces, worn out places. Yeah, because because the whole theme is very dark, very depressing and somber in a way.
It sure is. And man, the color use, I love it. All the yellow and purple. It's really awesome. Gives a very awesome atmosphere. Kind of reminds me of the Werehog levels. They also used a lot of purple, though not much red because of nighttime, I guess.
Yeah. Of course, it was also nice seeing big being a badass again. Like, yeah, haven't seen that since the days of Archie Sonic. At least here it's kind of like, I guess, a more diet version because he's just whacking everyone with his fishing rod. But in Archie Sonic, he used it more like, kind of like Bionic Commando, using like a grappling hook or rescuing people from danger.
Yeah, pretty good. Go ahead.
On a lighter note, I do want to confirm that Americans do know about Marsupilami.
Oh, the Disney cartoon, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the Disney cartoon. We don't know much about like the original comics or anything.
All right, fair enough. Thanks to Disney, even though that cartoon had almost nothing to do with how the comics are like. But
Yeah.
fair enough.
But then again, the cartoon was pretty obscure anyway. Only lasted like 13 episodes.
13 1/3 episodes even, so even more pathetic.
You mean to tell me that Disney made an adaptation that has nothing to do with the source material? I'm shocked.
Yeah, pretty much. To be fair, Marsupilami has another cartoon, and that did went on for very long, but it's a French one, so it's never on television. Unless you're French, of course. That one had 5 seasons, so that went on quite longer. But yeah, I guess nobody cares. And I have to say, there's a new Marsupilami game coming out, and it looks very interesting. If you want to see a Sonic game in the style of Rayman, the modern Rayman, then you should check that one out.
Yeah, I saw that trailer for the game. It looks pretty good. I am interested in trying it out, unless it turns out to be like a Europe exclusive game. Then it's like, oh fuck, now I can't get it.
I don't know. And of course, it's the Mega Drive Genesis game too, but that one is not very good. Although the graphics are nice.
Let's see. All right, should we move on to the next story then?
I guess so. The radio story. Who wants to do the story about?
Let's see. I guess I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, so this is a short story where we see this radio DJ named Night the Owl, who's hosting a broadcast along with his custodian Don. Kind of these two new characters that were introduced. So we see them as their casual lives doing radio and him cleaning up, and then we hear one of the Mobians contact them trying to ask for help as the metal virus is going on. And it definitely gets dark because like there's a panel where we see like the city is in bright lights, and then as the night goes down, then we start to see less of that light showing. So it's a short story with these new characters. We don't get too much time, but it's kind of neat seeing a more different side of how the world is handling this metal virus pandemic.
Really gives a lot of weight, yeah. Luke, you want to say anything about it?
I quite like this story because it kind of reminds me of like zombie films, like say Shaun of the Dead, where like beginning you'd hear like radio stations like with people calling in saying they've got their infections or weird zombie creatures going around. I mean, we never see like how the radio DJs would actually cope in this situation. I love the design of Don the Rooster because he actually looks like a character that would appear in a Sonic game, and I hope they actually put him in because he looks really cool. And I do like how at the end they do decide to sit in and try to help the rest people give out the information what to do and in this crisis.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, I have to say, I love the art, especially this morning shot at the beginning. I always love morning shots. I love sunny mornings. And yeah, it's really awesome. I love the atmosphere of being in a radio station. Very like constrained, but also like a fun element to it, like radio. Yeah, like media. I just love the whole atmosphere of this comic. It's awesome, and it gives so much weight to the whole situation.
In a way, it kind of reminds me of see like some sort of Sonic spin-off comic where you get different people trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse, in kind of like the Walking Dead comics, but with Sonic characters.
That's pretty much what this is, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, this one also has a pretty depressing ending because it's implied that these two are sacrificing themselves to save others.
Yep. It has to end with one of the zombies closing in.
Yeah. At least in the end, we kind of understand like how were all the Mobians able to find out about the restoration, gathering all the survivors and everything.
Yeah, so I guess they have to hold out for a couple days. I mean, he's still building up the barricade, so we don't know if it's immediately going to be over. But
yeah.
They're going to have to get out for food at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Depressing, but yeah, it gives a lot of weight. And I kind of wish we saw these kinds of details with Forces. Would have helped with giving that game some more weight to it. Give it really a sense it took. It actually spent a lot of days with it instead of the whole adventure taking place in one afternoon. But oh well.
Yeah.
Right, the next story. Metal Sonic
Yeah.
commits suicide. Pretty much.
Oh, yeah, this is the one that the captain wants to talk about.
Yes. Okay. This one's beautiful. So it's called Reflections, and it's just about Metal Sonic. And because of that, there is only 2 lines of dialogue in the entire story, and they're both from Dr. Sarlin. So yeah, Metal Sonic is going around Eggman's base, and he comes across a screen that is for some reason showing a bunch of footage of his fights with Sonic. And as he goes, he finds a tankard full of the metal virus. And he sees on the screen that Sonic has been infected. And he like looks into the tankard and tries to infect himself. And the fact that he can't kind of breaks him mentally, because it proves to him that he's not real. Which is this weird character arc that Metal Sonic has had going on for a while, is that he does truly believe himself to be the real Sonic. So when he can't infect himself, he can't handle this truth.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
what
he
happens? Because I thought he
Yeah.
actually was infected, and that's why he didn't work anymore. That's more interesting, your story. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, well, as I said, there is no dialogue, and we can only... And Metal Sonic doesn't exactly have the most expressive face. So, yeah, this is just this is just my interpretation of what's happening. It makes the most sense to me.
It is a better story, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, like, the metal virus just harmlessly drips off his finger, and, like, he just... His eyes start to glitch out, which is a really beautiful moment to me, because it shows that he is thinking something that has, like, broken him mentally.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes you wonder if he's starting to become more self-aware.
Oh, no.
Now I'm really curious what's going to happen when we see him next, yeah. Because this is very
Yeah.
interesting.
If they
Yeah.
continue this plot point, I'm gonna love it, because this is beautiful.
This is definitely awesome, yeah, definitely.
Ah, yes.
But
So
yeah,
thank you for letting me talk about that one.
sure.
Oh, yeah, I definitely like the Metal Sonic story arc. It's interesting, like, even with a story with no dialogue, you can still feel, like, what's going on with Metal Sonic looks at the screen and how he wants to willingly infect himself, but, of course, it proves to no avail, and that just really bums him out.
Apparently. Or my interpretation that it did work, and that's why it didn't work. But I guess that's less interesting. But we'll see what's going to happen when he shows up in the comics. But that makes me wonder if the Zombot saga did already continue far beyond what we saw. Did Metal Sonic already show up? So then the readers of this comic would have already known.
Yeah, well, as far as we've read through, no, Metal Sonic hasn't been present during the Metal Virus
Yeah,
arc.
but we're following, of course, the chronological order, but not the release order, apparently. So maybe it was
Yeah,
different.
this is more...
Oh, well. Okay, the next one. The only cheerful... yeah?
Yeah, I want to talk about this one.
Sure, go ahead. Take the wheel.
Okay, this one has Starline catching Eggman. It looks like he's having a brain aneurysm, and also his pose was, I believe, was taken exactly the same from a previous Archie comic panel.
Yeah,
So-
that's traced straight out of Archie Sonic issue 230, I think.
Yeah, so he goes in to help, and it turns out he was just looking for the light switch because he wants a day off, so he decided to show Starline his egg cave, which is kind of like his den, which pretty much has his hobby, which is like he likes to build action figures and apparently hoarding what looks like a lot of shampoo bottles. He just want. I feel like this whole story is like based on that one joke from Spaceballs where like they catch Dark Helmet playing with his action figures, and and he's just annoyed that that this Sonic figure destroyed his Eggman figure, and like he just wanted to talk about his hobby, and being as it's his day off, he just kicks Starline out. He just, I just want to play with my toys, damn it. And also, I kind of got a bit of a theory about Eggman's past. Like, he might have had a background in toy making, or like he was the son of a toy maker, which is where the Mr. Tinker persona came from.
Could be,
So-
could be. This is the second time they bring it up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a fun little story then. In missed this whole other strips of dark and gloom and that.
The one starring Eggman is the only cheerful one. And at least he's less embarrassed about his toys than Dark Helmet was.
Yeah, like imagine they go like, knock at my door next time and started. Yes, I won't catch you playing. I didn't see you playing with your toys again.
Yeah, it's his fake law.
The interesting crate full of hoarding shampoo bottles.
I don't know what they are.
sense. Well, I guess that would make sense because I mean, how else would you explain how he keeps his mustache so clean and fluffy?
Absolutely, yeah. And all his robots so shiny. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah, this one is from a bit earlier in the chronology. So this is before Dr. Starline started to doubt Eggman. So I liked this. This was a nice interaction of like Starline getting to see the nice side of Eggman, the one that has a hobby and likes to do fun things, and not judging him really. But there's a weird implication towards the end, in that like while a bunch of Eggman's toys are just like exact replicas of characters that they almost look like Jazzware toys.
Oh yeah.
He's got a few that look roboticized, like Tails and SBO and weird Mechasonic and Super Mechasonic. But he also has one of Dr. Starline looking like he's been roboticized, and that's what makes the awkward moment at the end that causes Eggman to kick Starline out of his room.
So it's not even an embarrassment of playing with the toys. It's the embarrassment of his dark secret, his evil plans. Yeah.
Yeah, that he might be planning to betray
Backstab.
Dr. Starline. Yeah.
Yeah, it did kind of that weird robot Sonic next to the Mecha Sonic. That did kind of throw me off for a bit, but then after a while, it's like, oh, maybe that's supposed to be like a smaller version of Titan Metal Sonic. You know, the giant final boss at the end of Knuckles Chaotix.
I guess you're talking about something else now.
No, I was just talking about how the weird robot that the captain pointed out, that red and yellow one.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I've
it
also
kinda looks like-
noticed that the Tails and SBO figures kind of remind me of their sort of the roboticized forms in the Worlds Collide comics, where they got turned into like sonicized robot masters,
Oh yeah,
The
the
roboticized master.
like Sonic
Yeah.
Man, SBO Man, that sort of thing.
Vector
yeah,
Man.
it's kind of interesting. It's funny, the the Metal Tails one, that actually reminded me more of the actual Metal Tails from Archie Sonic, even though it was very short-lived.
All right. Could be. A lot of inspiration. Could put a lot of cameos in here. I'm surprised they didn't do a Tills doll joke. Guess they don't want to put in the memes in here.
I also just noticed he actually has a Metal Sonic one in the panel where he's first holding SBO and Tails.
Yeah.
Behind his head,
see
you
his
see
bottom
Metal Sonic.
torso.
I think I have that exact figure.
Yeah, I think I have that one too. At least the one made by Jazzwares. Yeah.
Now get a couple more, and you can reenact this entire sequence.
There we go.
Well, yeah. Now all we need is just a Werehog toys for Captain Theory to go all fanboy on.
Yes.
It's Halloween, so now's the time. Come on, Sega. Well,
Come on, Sega.
They did have new T-shirts and cups, I think, in the European Sega shop now.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack Specific, make a new Werehog toy, because the one made by Jazzwares has become hard to find these days.
Yeah, well, Sonic toys are hard to find anyway.
Yeah.
I was planning on getting a lot of them and then make a stop-motion animation out of it, but too much work probably. They're not really made to be animated. Oh well, and I'm too clumsy for that. But anyway, yeah?
And speaking of planning, on to the next story.
Ah, yes, the Chaotix flock together. Yeah.
Technically it has a cheerful ending, but not if you saw the comic that follows it.
Yeah. I might as well chime in for this one. So
Sure.
this is basically a prequel story showing how Vector and Espio were able to capture the now Zombot Charmy and get it back to headquarters. And the way they do it is going up against an army of zombotified flickies.
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
Very interesting situation. But yeah, this is so frustrating about this whole comic. Like, it's a fun adventure, but because you know how it ends, it's just frustrating. It's like, don't do this, man. Such a happy, cheerful, upbeat adventure. just to go to the doom.
Yeah.
But
Well, at least on one hand, this at least pleases the people that wonder, like, wait, how was Vector able to capture Charmy, yada yada, without getting infected?
well, here's the answer.
So,
Yeah,
at
the
least
whole
there's
way, this whole sequence is kind of like Sky Chase Zone, but with Zombots.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that would have been a cool level. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's kind of interesting to see one of those power-up boxes being used as a tool for once.
Oh yeah, the capsules, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a kind of fun element.
There is an interesting moment I do want to talk about, is like, because we have been seeing a lot of zombie movie tropes in these comics lately, there is another one, the one where Vector feels guilt for having left Charmy behind, and he's like talking to the zombified Charmy as if like he's just fine, and it's kind of depressing to look at.
Does he do that in this comic? I think he only did that in the
Yes.
later one.
Yeah, he does that in this.
Yeah.
When he's got the riot shield and he's holding off the flickies when he first leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's all like, oh, little buddy, I've been looking everywhere for you. That panel.
Oh, yeah, I found it. I thought I was looking at the end. But yeah, lots of zombie tropes, because that's pretty much what it is. A very epic one.
Yep.
And then we have the final story. Luke, you want to do this one?
Basically, it involves Jewel the Jeweler Beetle helping out this little kid finds his club, because in one of the previous annual ones there was this whole story about his club leader and having a race. Now he's back and they're all disappeared. So they're looking around for them, and apparently she finds one of them, but they're surrounded by the metal virus goop, and apparently it's revealed at the end they all practically touched it. So their fates were sealed.
And then even if they did survive it, then immediately Dr. Eggman's ship comes up to throw more gloop on them. It's almost like a parody ending. Like, get this whole adventure and all this thrills and escaping, and even before they get their slow realization of them dying, then whoop, there you comes Eggman, blop, the end. If I made a cartoon about this, I would have picked this one as a parody. Because it's such a dark, cynical ending. Like, it's not bad enough yet. Here comes Eggman's ship to make it even 20 times worse.
Yeah, not even the kids were spared.
No one survived. And then, of course, at the end, we see the now Zombot Jewel as Tangle tries to find her, which leads into the events of issue 24, but that's for another time.
All right, and then we'll ignore it for now. But yeah, what a wonderful, upbeat, cheerful little stories this was.
Yeah, I do like how grim it is.
Yeah, they really play up the whole robot apocalypse sequence. They normally only follow the main characters, but now you get all these cheerful, hey, all the other side characters get a fun little adventure. It all ends with them horribly dying. Well, not really dying, but pretty much the Sonic equivalent of it.
It's like that bit with Patrick that people have done in memes. You know, the everyone died. The end. That's it.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, these comics are getting depressing.
Yeah, I remember hearing a lot of my friends saying, can the Zombot saga end, please? Because it does feel very heavy, yeah. And on a more cheerful note, apparently there's a Steven Universe reference in his t-shirt of the guy.
Yeah, the Coyote Kid or whatever he is. Yeah, he's apparently wearing a Steven Universe t-shirt.
Why not? Well, I guess could say the other fan is wearing a Spiro outfit, but purple. So more references.
Oh yeah, it does look like that.
Probably not supposed to be, but why not?
What I have noticed that with the whole Zombot apocalypse going on, like the society hasn't exactly collapsed, because it's in shows like The Walking Dead, there are people who became like evil warlords or tyrants or gone completely evil or insane. But there's not many those people that like you got in Sonic that have like become like Negan or something, making their own groups to take over or something.
That would have been a funny side story if we just followed the Zombots and them having some sort of personality. But yeah, so far they haven't shown any personality at all, so I guess they're not supposed to have one. They're just literally just brainless Zombots. Sadly, that would have been funny. It would have been funny if there's a couple of Zombots with a little personality left.
Yeah, like or a Sonic version of Mad Max.
Oh boy. Would be a cool level at least. That would be an awesome level, just running around all those big giant trucks racing through the desert.
Yeah, everyone's wearing like spikes and like with dropping down fire cars or something.
Maybe Shadow Datcho gets a sequel. Yeah, Captain?
Guys, you were thinking too small. Mad Max Sonic storybook game.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh yes.
There we
I'm
go.
sure there was like post-apocalyptic novels or something.
Probably. I mean, technically, isn't Sonic Archie post-apocalyptic? Like it's supposed to take place after the destruction of the world?
In the old continuity, it's like that, where it's revealed like, oh, Mobius was originally Earth, and then like the Zodar aliens came, and scientists decided to dissect the leader or the general guy. And
that's my job. Dissecting is my job. And a Sonic OVA movie also did the apocalyptic thing.
So yeah, like the alien gets dissected, and that pisses off the whole race. Like, all right, we're dropping a nuke on you all. Whee! And then the world blows up, but not quite. It just kind of leaves behind some side effects, like it makes all the animals more anthropomorphic, and leaves behind. Well, there's this weird detail with like, oh, there's humans and overlanders. Well, overlanders are just humans, but with 4 fingers that got affected by the Gen Bomb. Although I think later they dropped it because in the later issues they drew them with 5 fingers instead.
Oh well. They couldn't really keep up their plot because Sega kept interfering. Oh well.
Although I think this was before the whole big Sega interference thing. I think this is just the last leg of Archie's own creativity before the lawsuit came and Sega's tight rules.
Alas. Oh well. But that's well. When we talk about Archie, then we can talk all about Ken Penders
and then I can go all fanboy over stuff.
Fair enough. That'll be interesting. But oh well, we still have a lot of IDW to go. Well, that was the anniversary comic.
Yeah, the 2020 annual special. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have one this year too. Probably not.
I think this year was the whole Sonic 30th anniversary, which that one was just a bunch of classic Sonic stories.
Oh, right. So they did that instead. Oh, well, we'll get to that later on.
I guess we could, we'll probably just save that for last because we could pretty much just start that anywhere. There's like no specific time or place or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in the storyline. Well, I guess that ends our stream then, unless someone else has something. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Before we end, I suppose you could show that picture that I was going to show the last stream, but I didn't have the time to finish it. Basically, I was playing a lot of Crash 4 recently, and one of the Crash 4 skins was called the Cat's Meow, and he looks like a lot like me, but as a Bandicoot. So I made a picture of what if in another reality, being as the whole game is about alternate realities and alternate timelines, and also I was really into the show Marvel's What If there was another universe where instead of us talking and dissecting Sonic games, there's versions of us where we're dissecting and talking about Crash Bandicoot. So that there's me as Luke the Bandicoot, there's Captain Theory, but going for the more Captain America aesthetic instead of the Superman aesthetic, and basically you just wearing a different shirt. And also we're all wearing bowler hats instead of top hats to keep with the Cat's Meow thing.
Yeah.
So you drew that? Can you give me a link?
Hang on, I think I've got it. Unless someone else manages to upload it.
Like I'm checking your Twitter now, but I can't.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I saw it on TV.
I've got it right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah.
That timeline's Captain Theory is obsessed with Crash Team Racing.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, I couldn't fit you in, Melderman. I'm sorry, I couldn't find a way to fit you in, and also I wanted to focus on the main 3. But I'm guessing, like, in that universe, it could be called like Solid Man 34 or something. Or...
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine. Like the trio is kind of like more of the standard thing with Sonic Dissected. I'm more just like the unwanted fourth wheel attachment to a tricycle. With this live stream
Absolutely.
series.
I mean,
I also like the cameo of the Watcher in the background.
maybe Melting Man is the Watcher.
Oh, there we go.
You bastards.
Yeah, and then God Ultron comes in.
Oh, that reminds me. I don't think I watched the newest episode of What If.
Oh dear.
How dare you, sir? I haven't either.
I haven't seen anything from What If.
How
Well,
dare you, sir?
I have a reason for that, and that is that I've been mentally tying Wednesdays with both What If and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and one of those ended, so I haven't been keeping track.
I
of
usually
Wednesday.
watch What If on a Saturday morning to have something to watch.
Oh,
All right.
So that's why, Captain. I thought you were just too busy watching the G5 MLP movie.
no, I still haven't gotten around to watching that either.
And also, I do have this hilarious idea that if Roger ever makes Crash 4 a minute, I thought it'd be a funny idea if it starts out like this, with like Luke the Bandicoot and all that talking about Crash Dissected. And suddenly a portal opens up and Luke goes through it, and he ends up like with Coco, thinks he's Crash. So I'm not Crash, and he goes through this whole torture of being squashed, melted, frozen, being bashed about, going through the events of Crash 4, and everyone else confuses him as Crash, even though he's not.
Yeah. I remember doing one parody comic of Sonic Crash 4. This was before the game was released, and right when they introduced the whole Altana cutscene. So I kind of came up with this idea, like, oh, what if they made other versions of the characters? So I did this quick comic where Crash and Coco meet like Ripper Roo, but it's the version from Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D, where it's a obscure mobile phone game. But that game's kind of known for how drastically weirdly designed Ripperoo is in that game. Like, he's not wearing a straitjacket in that game. He has big boxing gloves and everything.
Yeah, and I have this idea that at the very end, when confronting Cortex, there's a parody of, it could be like a parody of like Avengers Endgame, where like on Luke the Bandicoot's left, a portal opens and the actual Crash comes in, then a load of other portals open, and a load of other Crashes from loads of other alternate realities come in, converging on Cortex.
Boy, it's getting crazy. Yeah, I still have to play Crash 4.
It's really long if you try to go for everything.
Yeah, like Crash 4 is, I think I said in one of my videos that it's kind of like Mario Sunshine or Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah.
Like, fun games to play on a casual playthrough, but they're quite the marathon if you're trying to go for the 100% route.
Yeah, it's such it gets way too much content, because I think I'm up to like 70-odd% now, and I still haven't got everything.
Wow. Hey, at least you got a lot of content in like Sonic games.
Yeah, a little
Okay.
too much. Like, I think the insanely perfect relics, I think that was a bit overkill. Where
Yeah, I
it's
ain't doing
basically-
those.
Yeah, it's basically just a throwback to Crash 1's difficulty and the original, break all the crates in one go without dying. Yeah, that crap.
Oh man, those were challenging. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Maybe one day I'll go to Crash 4. Oh man, isn't Psychonauts 2 out? I completely missed that one too.
It is.
Yeah, Psychonauts 2. I forgot that was a thing now.
We haven't been to play that.
I just remembered today. But when is that game coming out? So many games you still have to play. So many games, so little time.
I just picked up the new Hot Wheels game when it came out on Thursday.
Oh, Hot Wheels. Okay.
I didn't know they were still making the games of that.
Yeah.
I remember those crappy FMV games where you just watch a video play and your models just on top of that. But how is the new game then?
I don't know. I've spent the past couple of days getting this Sonic Colors review finished.
I know the feeling. I spent the whole time on my video too.
There is one last thing I want to show. Being as next year we're getting a second live-action Sonic movie and an animated Mario movie, what are the chances we're going to get this movie down the line?
Oh, just a moment.
Oh my god.
Jeez. That could be like its own spin-off series where like each episode is just them participating in an Olympic event.
Also, it's not the first time that Jim Carrey and Jack Black had acted together, as they have been in the Cable Guy movie.
Interesting little
I
reunion.
didn't know Jack Black was in Cable Guy.
Oh yeah, he was in the party scene where like you could see like Jim Carrey and Jack Black having a small conversation with each other.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, Jack Black had a lot of cameos in the time. Didn't he also show up in Neverending Story 3 or something as a short?
He was the main baddie in Neverending Story 3. Yeah.
But yeah, that was before he was famous.
Yeah, I just want to see this Mario because with this casting, it's just going to be ludicrous, and I just want to see it just for the sheer insanity of it.
Oh yeah.
The ultimate crossover. Yeah.
When Luke started talking about the Sonic movie and the Mario movie coming out in the same year, I thought he was leading towards a potential Smash Brothers cinematic universe.
It might end with like Detective Pikachu or something coming in saying, "I want to talk to you about the Smash Brothers initiative."
Yeah.
Well, first we'll need like a Metroid movie first. Yeah, a Metroid movie starring Scarlett Johansson as Samus.
Or what?
No.
What if at the end of the Mario? Sorry, you go first.
Okay, yeah. If they're gonna make a Metroid movie starring Scarlett Johansson, that's gonna come out like 14 years later.
As I was going to say, what if at the end of the Mario movie they find this warp pipe? Mario and Luigi end up in this huge green field, and they see this guy and this horse, and he turns out to be Link, voiced by Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh my god!
Link talking? No.
Well, Link did talk in the mangas.
Well, somebody's got to make the screams.
That's true.
Oh, one thing I mean to ask you, right, is who would you think should voice Pete?
Pete?
In the Pete the Koopa Trooper.
Oh, the Koopa Trooper.
Our Pete.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good question.
Koopa Troopa Pete, you cannot deny the perfections of a master plan.
But sir. Yeah, who could be a perfect? But sir, I don't know.
I don't know. Perhaps Ryan Reynolds or the guy who plays Ant-Man.
Sure, why not? But I only want to see a Smash Brothers movie when it has the grim, dark atmosphere of the Man of Steel movies and all that. Make it super grim and bitter and miserable.
Okay. Daniel Defoe as Wart.
Oh, sure. There you go.
Yeah. Or
William?
Danny DeVito as Wart.
Was it William Defoe?
Danny DeVito has to do Princess Peach.
Danny DeVito should be every character.
Yeah.
There we go. We finished it.
No.
Yeah.
William Defoe is Waluigi.
No, it's Gilbert Gottfried as Waluigi.
Oh
There
my
you
god!
go.
Yes.
Yeah. Waluigi time!
I've seen a video about the possibility of Jeff Goldblum as Waluigi.
Oh, there you
And
go.
that's just so bad that it's hilarious.
That's why.
So many possibilities. If only they were super rich and all the celebrities have nothing better to do. Which they probably don't.
Probably.
Yeah, interesting to think about, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year next year. Thank goodness.
Oh, yes.
This year was kind of dull. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that completes our stream then. So see you all in 2 weeks again. I hope to have my Sonic and Knuckles cartoon finished this week. I'm working hard on that one. So you guys have any projects running that's gonna be finished this week? You want us?
Not working on anything at the moment.
Alrighty.
Let's see. As for me, I'm just trying to work on the part 2 of my 10-year anniversary of Forgotten Media. That one's just going to be more of a looking back at a majority of the episodes and just talking about episodes I liked or disliked or just thought were okay. Other than that, just that, and also just trying to get around to doing the Forgotten Media Halloween special now that October's here. So I got to work on that. I already have the project plan. It's going to be Mr. Bones. It's this really bizarre game on the Sega Saturn. Like, you look at the cover and you think it's just, it's a rhythm game. You play as Mr. Bones rocking down on a guitar. But no, it's mostly a 2D platforming game where you have to, run away from these skeletons and have to do all a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's one smooth skeleton.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, yeah. Captain, you working on anything?
Yeah, actually, coincidentally enough, the Game Grumps have started playing Sonic Colors Ultimate, so I'm making another Dan Out of Context video.
Oh boy. Alrighty then.
Oh, there was really one bit where Dan was asking Aaron if Sonic was in Kingdom Hearts because he thought that Sonic was a Nintendo character or something.
Which doesn't make sense for 2 reasons.
It doesn't make any sense.
You can tell he's getting on a bit.
I think he's just trolling his audience if he gets it that wrong. That must have been a joke.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, guys, thanks for joining me again. See you all next week. In 2 weeks.
All right.
Sorry.
Right.
Bubble.
Yeah.
See ya.
Goodbye.